This is the video for exercise 3 from lesson 15 out of the grade 7 module 3 book. So in this one, we have Mrs. Smith decides to buy 3 sweaters and a pair of jeans. She has $120 in her wallet. If the price of the jeans is $35, what is the highest possible price of a sweater if each sweater is the same price? So what we're going to do, well, first off, it said for each problem, write, solve, and graph the inequality and interpret the solution within context of the problem. So we're going to have to write an inequality first for this. So our inequality setup means we have to put expression, then the inequality sign, and then our limit. There we go. All right, so we're going to start by thinking about the limit. So what's the limit in this one? Well, she decided to buy. If she's going to buy something, she needs some money, and she has $120 in her wallet. So her limit in this one is $120 because she can't spend more than she has, at least not responsibly. Next thing we do is think about the expression. So when you think about your expression, think about what is the expression actually helping us find. So what does it actually represent? In this case, 120 stands for a dollar amount. Well, what are we doing with dollars in this one? We are spending it on 3 sweaters and a pair of jeans. So this will be actual dollars spent. So what goes into actual dollars spent? So let's see. She wants to buy 3 sweaters and a pair of jeans. Which one of those do we know? Which one do we not know? Well, we know that the price of the jeans is $35. So since that is already set, we'll put 35 plus, because she's buying something additional. And what else is she getting? Well, she's getting 3 sweaters. But we don't know what the price of the sweater is. So it doesn't give us a possible price of a sweater. So we are going to have to put a variable. So let's do this. Let's say, let's use the letter W. W. Because I don't like S. My S's kind of look like 5. So we'll use the second letter, which is W. So anyway, W equals the price of 1 sweater. There you go. So W equals the price of 1 sweater. Well, so I don't want to just put 35 plus a W, because that means that it would be 35, which is the price of the 1 pair of jeans, plus W, which is the price of 1 sweater. But she's buying 3 sweaters. You see right up there. She's buying 3 sweaters. So we're going to have to put 3W. Because 3W will represent the cost of all 3 sweaters, the total cost of just the sweaters. So we have the total cost of the jeans plus the total cost of the sweaters will give us the actual money spent. Now the actual money spent, we got to think about the inequality sign. Which way does that inequality sign have to face? Well, the actual money spent has to be less than her limit because she can't go over her limit. She doesn't have enough money. So it's going to face that direction. This amount has to be less than, but it also can be equal to. There's nothing in here that says she's trying to keep money for afterwards. So this amount can equal 120. So we have to put that or equal to bar underneath. Okay, so we did step 1. We wrote the inequality. Let's go ahead and solve it. So to start solving this thing, let's see, we're trying to get W alone. That's what solve means. I'm going to have to subtract 35 from both sides. And we'll make this a little tighter together then. So let's see, we have 3W. Inequality sign is going to face the same way because subtraction means it always faces the same way. Then on the other side we'll have 85. Okay. Next thing, to get W alone, to solve for W, we will divide by positive 3. So I say positive 3 because that way I know when I divide by a positive, inequality sign is preserved. It still faces the same way. Only reverses when you divide by a negative. So let's see. 3 divided by 3 will cancel out. 85 divided by 3 is going to give you 28.33. It actually is 3 repeating, but again, I'm keeping in mind that this W stands for the price of one sweater, so I want to end it with 2 numbers after the decimal. So 0.33333 going on forever, rounds to just 0.33. Okay, so let's figure out what this is. So we wrote, we solved, and now we have to graph the inequality. To graph the inequality, we're going to get a straight line. There we have that. Then on that straight line, just mark up. We'll try to get about 10 dashes on there. There we go. And let's put our value. Let's try to put that somewhere toward the middle. So I'm going to put a, let's see, I'm going to put 28 right here. And then I'll have 29, 30, and I'll just fill in the rest of them. I know that our actual value is 28.33. I'm going to count by whole numbers, and we'll see where to place it from there. All right, so we got that marked up. So when we are plotting this, I got to think, okay, W, the point and the line has to show all the possible values of W, my variable. W has to be less than or equal to 28.33. So first thing I do is I put my point where 28.33 is. Now, 28.33 is in between 28 and 29. It's not perfectly in between because that would be 28.5. So it's going to be a little less than. So we'll just put a solid point right there. A solid point represents it can actually be 28.33. So that's when you have that or equal to bar underneath it. You use a solid point. Now W has to be less, either equal to that or less than that. So all of these numbers off to the left here represent a value less than that. So there we go. There we have that. So now we have it graphed. Now let's just do the last part where it says interpret the solution within context of the problem. So remember, W stands for the price of one sweater. W must be less than or equal to 28.33. So we'll say that the highest price Mrs. Smith can pay per sweater, so per one sweater, is $28.33.